Did you see that? I had a bite. All right, got them. They're in the bushes. There are big ones in here, yeah. Big ones! Oh my God! Yes! All right, I know what you're thinking. That's a pretty small bass on a pretty big jig. But stay tuned for this episode, because in this one, we're gonna dissect fishing a full-size jig, and we're gonna catch some giants. Come on, let's fish. Hey Tackle Warehouse fans, welcome back to another great vlog filming day with the guys from Tackle Warehouse. This is our third day. I'm starting to get tired, getting a little burned out, but I've got a special one for you today. We are at a lake in central Jersey called Manasquan Reservoir. It's a reservoir for drinking water, and it's very unique. A lot of deep water, standing timber, and best of all, hydrilla and milfoil. The other key today is going to be weather. I know what you're thinking. It looks perfect right now, but we have a storm approaching from the west. It's going to get here about 1 o'clock, so we're going to have about 5 or 6 hours to figure this place out. The bad news is I haven't fished here in over a year. The good news is when that pressure's falling, that front's approaching, they're going to bite. I'm making a prediction. They're gonna bite. I know it sounds like the kiss of death, but they're gonna bite. So join us today, mixing it up between power fishing and finesse fishing. Hopefully catch some largemouth and some smallmouth and catch a nice big fish for you. Come on, let's go. You know what's funny? We've got a rainbow already. Must be a little rain over there. And the rainbow is ending on a place I fished before that I call the gravel bar. Is that trying to tell us something? Big smallmouth on beds? Maybe. Oh, it come off. Had my first bite. Wow, and I'm just like pumping it with my hand. Wow. Didn't feel big, but something knocked it. I had them like 2 cranks and it kind of pulled off. Oh God. Right, look at this. Just like pulling in and out of the grass. Come on, man. Cut me a break. I'm talking to you. Let's go. I had a bite. All right, got him. Got him. They're in the bushes. First bush I pitched to. Smoked it, dude, and I have no idea how I missed them. God, look at all these bushes we missed. I'm 99% sure that's not random. We're gonna find out in a second. He smoked it. God, I have no idea how I missed that fish. They're in the bushes. There's no way the first bush I pull up to, one smokes it. Got him, big one. Giant, giant, yeah, giant. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it feels good to figure him out. Look at that, look at how fat. Yes, 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 yes! All right, guys. After I'm done foaming at the mouth here, first fish of the day. You want to talk about pre-spawn? Look at that. I mean, when you see that gut, take a look at that. That's all you need to know right there. That's eggs, folks. So, you know, I haven't fished here. So the mindset is to fish everything in front of you until you get your first bite. We started out this morning on a flat, fishing inside, outside, milfoil lines. Had one little spinnerbait bite. I decided, I saw bushes. Doesn't make sense. The water's still a little cold. I decided to come up and flip, missed the bite, flipped another bush, caught a fish. I mean like 2 bites in like 3 casts. If that's not smacking you in the face and telling you this is a potential pattern, this is fishing, right? This is pattern fishing. You gotta listen. But look at that jig, okay? Look at that jig. I wanna tell you a little bit about this real quick. This is a Missile Jigs headbanger. And I want you to look at the triangle diamond shaped head on that. And this was really designed to be fished around rock, but guess what? The headbanger is just as good around wood. That real broad head design keeps it out of the snags. This is peanut butter and jelly, it's 1/2 ounce. And look on the back, the days of pork rind are over, folks. This is a Berkley Maxscent chunk, and that's in green pumpkin. I got a little broken power bait general as a spacer. I'll talk about that in a second. Let's let this fish go, and we'll talk about rod, reel, and line. Guys, this is a Missile Jigs. This is the headbanger. It's a 1/2 ounce peanut butter and jelly, and I'm fishing a Berkley power bait Maxscent chunk on it. But one of the little secrets I've done for years is to add a spacer. And you know what this spacer does is it keeps the chunk in the perfect spot. It keeps the chunk from sliding up and turning on itself. So it keeps it straight, it keeps it elongated, and most of all, it keeps that chunk from burying in the point of the hook. So a little tip there. I want to talk a little bit about what you should be throwing this jig on when you're fishing this shallow cover. You know, to me, a 7 to 7.5 foot medium heavy action rod is what you want. But this is a rod I designed especially for Abu Garcia, just for jig fishing. It's the 7.2 medium heavy Ike Series power rod, and it's perfect. You know, in this rod, remember, you don't want a meat stick when you're fishing a jig. You actually want a rod that has a little tip. This is an 80-20, it's got 20% tip, but the rest is backbone, and that's for driving that single hook home. You want to pair it with a fast gear ratio reel. This is an Abu Garcia MGX 8-0-1. It's got the cork handles. Last but not least, around wood, a jig performs well on straight fluorocarbon. This is 20-pound Berkley Trilene 100% fluorocarbon, strong enough to hold up, but it's invisible. It's got low stretch. It's the perfect line for jig fishing. See if we can get another bite. Had another bite. Oh my God. Dude, that one came on a stump. Look at this. Golly. I mean, they want to kill it, dude. It's another bite that just like ripped the rod out of my hand. Wow. Right off that stump head, root ball. It's funny, they usually don't like them when the wind's jamming on them like this, but I've seen stranger shit happen. There's some right there. That's out this way, real deep. Clueless again. Clueless again. Start pitching that jig around again. Like to start seeing some spawners. Oh, jeez. All right, you saw that, right? He followed it. I caught it with my eye last minute. So he was up in that bush and he followed it out. Now I couldn't tell if it was a pickerel or if it was a largemouth. Dude, that was crazy. I went like this, I went to make my next pitch and like I just barely caught it out of the corner of my eye. Oh! Did you see that? That's what it was. It was one of these, but that is a monster. I pulled it out of there, I watched him fly out of there and eat it. Look at that. That's that same jig. That's that Missile headbanger with that Maxscent chunk. Dude, you think he wanted that? I have no idea how I'm gonna get that out of there. That might be his now. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. I think I got it. I got it. God, look at that thing, dude. I know that's not a bass, but that's a bite, and that's a giant pickerel. Look at the size of that thing. These things aren't like northern or these aren't like, oh Jesus, they aren't like northern or musky. They don't get as big, so that's a big chain pickerel. He's a big head on him. Look at him. He looks like my dog Quincy. Oh, nice. All right, let's let this thing go. There's a lot more of this. See how this is like, almost looks like backwater? There's a lot more of this over there. Yeah. Protect it, right? Like we talked about that earlier. It's like, this pattern is hurt by the wind. Big large one! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh God! Oh, we got him now. We should have never left. We should have never left. We got him. We got him. Oh my God! Come in. Yeah! 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 Yes! 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 God, yeah, I knew it. I knew it, man. I knew it felt right. It felt right this morning. Listen, here's a great lesson for you guys watching. Lesson for me. I've been fishing my whole life. I still forget. When fish tell you something, when they give you a clue, it is not coincidence. 1 out of every 100 times, it's random. Most of the time, it's a sign. This morning, we found the pattern, but it was too windy. When you're flipping bushes and you're flipping trees, heavy waves is your enemy. Immediately we got to an area of the lake that was protected, calm, got back to this bush pattern, a pickerel, a keeper, and a giant. And let me tell you something, folks at home, you think they like that jig? You think they like that headbanger? I think they do. I think they do. I pitched it in there. Dude, he flew out of that willow tree like this. Whoa. Oh my God, dude. Dude, look at the belly on that thing. That's an honest to goodness 4 1/4. Thank you, baby. Mwah. Headbanger, jacking their faces in. Yeah, they are mad at it, man. Every bite I've had today in the bushes has just been insane. Oh, look, look, look. Whoa. See that? Another cuda, dude. Dude, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. Not mad at them. If they're pickerel in here, I'm not mad. That was another cuda. That was a freshwater barracuda right there. But I don't want the freshwater barracuda. I want them fat largemouth, dude. Holy crap. It is happening. I feel it. It's going down. The pressure's falling. They're up here staging and they're like, man, let me eat as many bluegill as I could eat before this weather goes. I get it. I get what's happening. Wrong kind. So that surprised me because they've been hitting on as I reel it in, and that one just hit on the fall. I'm telling you, dudes get so spun out when they see pickerel, and I'm like, bro, why do you think the pickerel up here, like, playing cards or something? Dude, they're up here eating just like the bass are, you know? Come on, let me catch an 8-pounder and scare one of these joggers. That's like the other thing in these old forests. Like they might be staging on some of that last big wood before the bushes. That's where that big glide and might work. Big one! What a stump! Oh my God! Oh my God! Take me down on that stump. I just talked about those first stumps. Those first stumps leading back to the bushes. Oh my God. He's got it in his mouth too. God. Oh my God. What a bite. What a bite. God. Look at this, I got a crankbait in my foot. Oh my God, another big one. This is a little different pattern. So awesome that we were just talking about it right before we got here. I'm gonna explain this one to you. This is a little variation of what we've been fishing. You know, literally, I had the motor on high to come over here and fish these bushes, and you'll see this row of green bushes behind me. You look at them right there. You see these submerged bushes, some with the green, some with the brown. But in front of those bushes, there are isolated logs, standing timber, old timber that has some still standing and some that have fallen. That timber acts as a staging area, just like a grass line, just like a dock. It's an isolated piece of cover before the fish make that final push. And that's a pre-spawn bass all the way. Look at that thing. Once again, I know I said it before on the other one. Bro, when they're eating it like that, you don't need to change a damn thing. You got the right bait. That's the third fish today that has that 1/2 ounce. That's the missile, a peanut butter and jelly headbanger down his throat. There's that Maxscent chunk on there, and it's a large profile. It's a big profile. It's got scent. And I really think the way they're hitting this jig, I think it's imitating bluegill. Bluegill is a big forage in this lake, and it's a source of protein before those fish spawn. Let's let that beautiful fish go. Big one. In the bush. There's our other pattern. There you go. All right, there's a good look at what we're doing, guys. There's a real good look at what we're doing. Now, I've got to show you this real quick. This is, you hear a lot of guys talk about the 1-2 punch. The 1-2 punch, what does that mean? It means two patterns that are both working simultaneously. And if you look behind us, you see a forest of stumps and standing timber and 2 to 4 foot of water. And we're catching some staging off of those trees and stumps. There they go, look at them, right? They're coming in from deep water. They're staging on those trees. There's your 1 punch. Your second punch, look behind me. Shallow flooded bushes, some green, some brown. This is the last stopping point before these fish go to bed. Look, if you think I'm joking, look at how fat these fish are. That's not a 14-inch fish, and it weighs 2.5 pounds. Look at that. These are pre-spawn staging fish. They've left the grass. They came through the deep trees. Now they're stopping on the last shallow trees and the bushes right before they spawn. Sorry. Get rid of that real quick. You know, one of the misconceptions about jig fishing is a jig is a jig is a jig. Well, just like in other bait categories, this is untrue. And today is a classic example of when you want different style and different profile jigs. On my right, I've got one of my favorite jigs in the world. This is a missile mini flip jig. And look at that little thing, 3-inch chigger crawl on it. This is a compact profile jig. When they're eating small forage, the bite is tough, the fish are finicky. That's the deal. But today, look at the difference, right? Look at that difference. Today, we're fishing a Missile Jigs headbanger. Full-size jig, big profile, spacer and chunk. Look at the difference in the size of those two jigs, right? Both 1/2 ounce, both brown purple, you know, peanut butter and jelly color, but one of them is a good 2 inches bigger and bulkier. And this is perfect today because the fish are eating a bigger forage, they're eating bigger bluegill, and the bite is active, right? So don't think about jigs as all jigs are created equal. Think about the forage, think about the bite. Sometimes you want a little profile, sometimes you want a big one. And when you get it right, they choke it like they are today. You don't have a care in the world, that thing. It's been an incredible day. And now I really want to show you a little bit on how I'm retrieving this jig. There's not a right answer when you're fishing a jig like this. You're flipping and pitching around cover. The right answer is letting the fish tell you how to work the jig. You know, I have days when I'll pitch a jig and you have to leave it in place, you have to shake it. There are days when you have to dead stick it. There are days when I'm swimming it. But today, this is a reaction strike and I'm fishing it really fast. It's pretty much what I call an in and out presentation. There's a stump right there and I'm literally pitching to the left of the stump. I'm letting it fall on a semi-slack line. I watch that line as it falls, boom. The line bellows out, it hits the bottom. I shake it once, shake it twice. If I don't get a bite, I reel it in. Go to my next stump. I'll make my pitch to it. I'll let it fall on a semi-slack line, boom. Watch the jig hit the bottom, shake it once or twice. If I don't get a bite, I come in. You know, this in and out presentation, when the fish are chewing like they are today, they're eating bluegill, they're aggressive, they're hungry, there's a storm coming. This is the way that I like to fish a jig. The great thing about it is you can cover a ton of water. But remember, that's not the only answer. When you're fishing this jig, let the fish tell you how they want it. Duplicate that, you're gonna have a lot of success. There's one. Fucking in bush. This came from a bush. That's a bush bass. Not a very big one though. It's another one on the jig. Man, once again, look at that. When you find the right pattern, it's like magic. My best advice, and I try to do it all the time, let the fish talk to you. Every bite, there's a reason for it. If you just listen to the fish, you'll figure out the pattern. Today it came together. Awesome jig bite today with a full-size jig. That's that headbanger, Maxscent chunk, spacer. I hope you enjoyed this episode, vlog with Tackle Warehouse. I had a great time. I hope you learned something. If you liked it, do me a favor, like and share this. And also, don't forget to enter the gear giveaway because we're giving away great stuff that you see me use in this video today. So, you know what? I think we got about a couple hours before the storm rolls in. I might switch some baits up and keep fishing. See you later.